Microdose, yeah. Microdose, 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 dose. Microdose, microdose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to episode 84 of the Microdose. I've been looking forward to this episode so much. I didn't follow over Robin Seto. So Robin Seto's not here with us tonight, but our guest still is. Don't worry, this is still going to be a great episode. Welcome me, funniest man in the room, the CEO of Angelcake Entertainment on YouTube. He's part of the Movie Minds, Drew Angelman. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk about movies, and just excited in general.
We brought you here for another motive, anyways. We're gonna have a great time. It is the fourth quarter, my man. It is September right now. We're in the fall and winter season of movies. We got some folks swinging for that little gold trophy in February. We got some folks trying to get that movie on the schedule that they've been doing since like pandemic 2020. Drew, did you see the Shang-Chi?
I actually did. I saw it last week, Monday, Tuesday. I normally go on Mondays. Mondays or Tuesday afternoons. I like to go to the movies nowadays. Now that A-List is back up and going, I'm just going to the movies pretty much every week to get out of my house and get a little bit more sanity, step away from the computer and videos and everything. It's very welcoming. I actually was not planning on going to see Shang-Chi or anything because I didn't think the trailers looked that great. But we got a pocket of movies, a pocket where there wasn't a ton coming out. So I was like, I'll just go see it. It's the Marvel movie. I've seen Black Widow. I'm kind of like going into the next phase. I'm kind of like on a movie by movie basis at this point, and I really enjoyed it. I had a great time in it.
Would you say it was better than Black Widow?
I would say, 100% it was better than Black Widow. I wasn't a big fan of Black Widow, if I have to be truly honest.
Yeah, I didn't hate Black Widow, but also I was just like, it's just entertaining enough, you know? One of my biggest complaints about Black Widow was all the characters are supposed to be Russian, and there are many scenes where, all right, they're not speaking Russian, but why are they speaking broken English with this heavy Russian accent? That got on my nerves. And obviously, the answer is no one speaks Russian on this set. But you know, you get creative, do additional dialogue recording. You know, just put some peanut butter in Scarlett Johansson's mouth and let someone just drop some Russian on her. Shang-Chi improved upon that 100%. Where like the movie's in so much Chinese that when we were speaking English, I was like, why are we speaking English? You guys only speak Chinese. Like this is a very intimate moment here. What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with Black Widow is that for a titular character to be in the movie and to not be like the most likable or to be the most centric person of that movie. Like I love Florence Pugh, and I love that the movie was mainly about her and setting her up for future Marvel stuff. But Black Widow finally gets her movie after she's already passed away in the main storyline. This is basically a Rogue One Marvel story. And it was just weird. It was weird that Black Widow is getting her own movie and she's not the most exciting or interesting character of the movie. And also I was like, what is going on here? Like the characters of Shang-Chi was amazing. I loved Awkwafina and her chemistry with the lead, and everybody was just so good and on their A game. I don't know. It got me kind of pumped up for more Marvel movies. I'm not huge into the Eternals, but I'm looking forward to Spider-Man, and I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but just speaking of Marvel movies, it's just like, it was just really a fun time. I had a good time with it.
I'm not necessarily looking forward to the Eternals. I know as much about the Eternals as I knew about Shang-Chi going into it, but it's a formula for a reason. It seems to work consistently. Again, I really enjoyed Shang-Chi, where I was just first I was just like, come on, man. Why do we need to do this? But, you know, I expect to have the same attitude coming out of the Eternals. I'll be like, yeah, they know what they're doing over there, you know?
I feel like Marvel is like not wanting to give anything away in their trailers, but by doing that, I'm not super excited from the trailers to want to like go take that leap into the movies. I saw it today when I went to go see Free Guy, and seeing the trailer yet again, I was like, okay, so they're more powerful and they're gonna be good guys. Like, who's the bad guy after this? Like, what are we escalating towards if the Eternals, who seem like godlike, are now going to be fighting things? And what does that mean for the other Avengers that are pretty much human at this point? I mean, Ant-Man can go small or big. Like, what is he going to do against these demons that the Eternals seem to be having troubles with? I don't know what's happening in this timeline anymore.
No, the Eternals is coming out in November, I believe. Yes, November.
Yes.
And that's going to be exclusively in theaters. They're definitely going against, let's not put this on Disney Plus just yet.
Exactly.
They got a lot of heat from just not only the Black Widow movie, but the whole Scarlett Johansson contract situation. But let's get away from that. I have a feeling we'll talk Spider-Man in a minute, but that's not a problem. Well, let's talk about the fourth quarter. Now, we've already had Shang-Chi. We both said we liked it. Have you seen the card counter yet?
I have not.
It's okay. It's definitely, the card counter is the Oscar Isaac film with Tiffany Haddish. You're like, is this Rounders or is this 21? It's neither, actually. It's actually got a way more complicated plot than just gambling. Gambling just is kind of this side story. It's actually about Oscar Isaac was a military policeman stationed in Abu Ghraib. So you can imagine where it goes from there, and he's a little bugged out by it. So, and
this is done by Martin Scorsese, right?
Martin Scorsese's name is on it. He's just I think he just cut a couple checks. Otherwise,
okay.
But it's very well done. It looks fantastic. I enjoyed the story 100%. So here's the complicated part. It's definitely swinging for that trophy in February, but it's come out just too early. And I don't mean like it's not eligible. People are going to forget about this movie because this week coming up, Drew Angelman, we got a slew of movies, bro. Like just kicking off hardcore, dude.
Are we talking about Cry Macho and The Eyes of Tammy Faye?
Cry Macho, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, but also Joe Carnahan is doing a movie called Cop Shop. Basically, Gerard Butler is an assassin. He gets arrested to get closer to his target, and he murders everybody. Should be wild, should be mindless, should be a lot of fun. Why is it not written down? But like, there's like 3 other movies coming out this Friday, today, as we're listening to this, the 17th of September.
Blue Bayou is coming out as well.
Dude, Blue Bayou looks amazing, right?
It looks fantastic. I actually went to go see this movie called 9 Days, which is phenomenal.
Okay.
Really, really good. But I saw the trailer for Blue Bayou and I just was like, I don't know. I kind of got emotional just watching the trailer because I was like, this movie looks fantastic. Like instantly you think of awards. Instantly you think like this is going to be put up for at all the award ceremonies. And there's nobody that I really like. I think Alicia Vikander is like the only person that's like
the only name that I would recognize. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's got that like low down, like very indie film feel. And it looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah, man. I'm with you 100% on that. Like, I'm kind of mad that my local Regal doesn't have that slated. I'm doing a double. As this dropped, I did a double feature last night where I saw Cop Shop and The Eyes of Tammy Faye. The Eyes of Tammy Faye also looks like that one that's swinging for that gold trophy, man. That looks like a lot of fun. I'm hoping to come out of that with a positive attitude.
I agree with you for the sole fact that I think I couldn't recognize Jessica Chastain at all. I think she's going fully into that role. And I think that one, that's going to be her role to be put up for all the Oscars and stuff and all the awards. It's just if she's going to Free Guy and seeing a lot of the other trailers of stuff that's going to be coming out, there's going to be some stiff competition, I feel, but I think she has like a really good shot because again, Eyes of Tammy Faye looks really good. I've been wanting to see it ever since I saw the first trailer. And once I knew that was Jessica Chastain, I've been like, really? That's her? Like, I think she's got a great, great shot here.
It looks like a lot of fun. It's going to be that I, Tanya for this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know what I'm really excited about? The Last Duel. Matt Damon versus Adam Driver. Looks pretty fantastic, but I'm usually not into the whole knights, swords, and sorcery films. Probably no sorcery in this, but this looks wildly entertaining.
I'm not looking forward to this movie. I'm not a huge Matt Damon fan in general. And then on top of that, I'm not a huge knight fan or medieval, which is weird because I just said I love the Green Knight. So I think it's like
always an exception to the rule.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love Dev Patel and I love A24. So I think that's where it feeds into where I like the Green Knight. But yeah, The Last Duel, I'm not super looking forward to. I'm sure it's going to get some awards talk, especially with Adam Driver because of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon going to be in it. But I'm more looking forward to Halloween Kills coming out that same weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing that on opening Friday when it's coming out. I hope it's going to be good. I saw the trailer for it and I'm kind of nervous about it. I'm not going to lie.
I really enjoyed the first one. Just for the Sega's sakes, for the first one, the one they did 2018. I was not expecting to like that. I had not even seen the original Halloween at that one point. I knew it was going to happen, but I did not want Halloween Part 2, Part 3.
That's a great way to put it.
Well, this is the third time they've done a second Halloween. Rob Zombie actually had his hands on the property, 15 years ago? Those I did see. I'm in the minority of people who liked it.
The first one, I'll give it to him. But the second one, I was like, I'm not feeling this one at all. Like, I didn't know where he was going with it on that one. But I was like, okay, you lost me here on the second one, Rob.
It's going to be on Peacock Premium. And I don't know if that's Peacock Premium Plus because there are 2 paid walls for the Peacock app. Will you be seeing this in theater, or are you going to try and just download the app and subscribe for 10 days?
I'm actually going to be going to the theater.
Good for you.
Back in 2018, I went to see it the Thursday it came out because that was like my birthday weekend. And then it was actually supposed to come out on my birthday in 2020, but everything happened. So now that it's coming out, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I want to see it in like Dolby. I want to see it in the big theater, the great sound. I want to go see it as soon as possible when it comes out. And I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite slasher franchises. And so I'm going to be more critical of it than anything else. I love 2018, but seeing the trailer and him coming out of the burning house, just murdering firemen, just just whatever, like he's just doing whatever. And they're bringing like a supernatural aspect to it. I'm just like, this is not what the 1978 version did. This isn't how it was supposed to go. And now they're like, oh, we're just going to take it to wherever heights we want to go. And I'm just like so nervous because I just feel like it's going to go off the handles and it's going to go so far away from what I love about the movies and why I like the franchise. And what got me into it. I just think they're just going to be like, whatever. It's going to be a new Freddy versus Jason type of thing. And he's just going to murder everybody, wield around whatever they want, because that's what people want. People just want murder in Blumhouse movies. And I'm Jason Blumhouse. Like, let's go. And I'm just like, whatever.
Let's get into Halloween here, man. Last Night in Soho. I am super excited about this.
I am very excited about this movie. I'm a huge Edgar Wright fan. I love all of his movies. Scott Pilgrim is like easily top 10. I love Scott Pilgrim. I love Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Baby Driver, but I don't watch that one often because of people that are in it that aren't very good. So I kind of steer clear of that movie. But I love Edgar Wright. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. I love that it's a horror movie. I just saw the trailer for the first time ever, like the other week. Nice. Because I want to stay away from all the trailers, and it looks very interesting. I'm very excited. I wish this was coming out earlier October because we're kind of getting into the way of like late October into November where everything else isn't getting spooky anymore. We're getting into holidays and Christmas and all that other stuff heading into the new year where I kind of want more Halloween and horror movies in October than what we're getting. Like we're not getting that hard horror anymore. We're just kind of getting a few and then we're kind of moving on a little bit.
Man, I saw this. I've seen this trailer a few times now, and I am hooked on it. Like I catch something different every time. Like there's always a trick with the reflection in the mirrors. I'm really feeling that a lot. The same thing they did with Candyman. It was just like all the time. It was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Last Night in Soho looks like something very special here, and I think without trying, they're gonna get a couple gold trophies out of it.
What I love about Edgar Wright movies is that he makes things that you can tell that he's passionate, and what he's doing is what he wants to do at that moment. He's not just doing something to bypass it. It's always going to have a lot of thought, a lot of detail, and his style in it. And it's that thought that is always going to make his film stand out than somebody else's film. So I just love that. And knowing that he is working on something, you can tell that he's going to put all of himself into that movie. So I'm just always excited when Edgar Wright comes out with something.
Dig it. We already talked about Marvel's Eternals, but did you know the same day there's a Princess Diana biopic coming out with Kristen Stewart, if I said her name right?
No, I did not know that.
Yes. I don't think there's a trailer yet, but Kristen Stewart, I don't know how to say her name. She is playing Lady Diana, and it is called Spencer, which I don't think is a good name, but obviously that's her maiden name. That's probably gonna kill it, dude, right? You seem very impressed just with the sentences I pulled together there. So I think we got a lot to
I'm
look
still trying to wrap my
on
head
this
around
one.
that Kristen Stewart is going to be Princess Diana. Like I just don't see it in my brain.
Really? I'm looking at it right now, and I'm just like, yeah, I've got the composite. I was like, no, that's totally her. They're gonna dye her hair blonde, and that chick gets a lot of grief for Twilight. And while I haven't seen one, like I'm sure she's a good actress. I don't know.
I'm sure she is, but yeah, I just don't know. I mean, the last couple of things I've seen her in was Underwater, Charlie's Angels, and gosh, there was one more that I can't remember that she was in.
Underwater.
The Happiest Season.
I missed that one too.
On Hulu. I mean, it's just seeing those three and then thinking of her in like a documentary biopic-esque about a huge figure like Princess Diana. I don't know. I'm having maybe I just need to see the trailer because I'm just having a hard time visualizing it.
We don't got a trailer yet, but I'm sure it's right around the corner again. I think just based on this energy here, dude, it's swinging for gold trophies in February.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, November 19th. What any thoughts about this?
I'm actually like wondering why this is coming out in November rather than October. I thought this would have been a slam dunk for October, maybe because it has that family feel and it doesn't seem all that spooky. And maybe they're trying to cash in on like the Thanksgiving. It's coming out, I think, the weekend right before Thanksgiving. So they're trying to get like all the college students when they're there, like the whole family can go to the movies and have a good time. But yeah, I just thought I saw the release date and I was like, oh man, that could have been a slam dunk because there's not a whole lot coming out in October. I thought that would have been a huge slam dunk to put out in October and let it roll through the whole Halloween season. But they must know something I don't.
I literally know nothing about how dates are picked with distributors, but I have to imagine like at some point Sony put a down payment down on November 19th, and they're just like, well, we could do Spider-Man now or at Christmas, and it just becomes this terrible shuffle. And there's again, Ghostbusters was supposed to come out last summer.
Oh yeah, that's right. It has that summer vibe to it too. I just saw the trailer in Free Guy, and it definitely reminds me of like a summer type movie. I just I don't know.
We got King Richard coming out HBO Max, I believe that same day, and that's the new Will Smith movie. Definitely swinging for little gold trophies about Serena and Venus Williams' dad.
Yes, this is going to get nominated all over the place. This just it has award smell all over it.
It'd be weird if it wasn't, right?
Oh, 100%. Because just watching the trailer, I mean, just the first like 30 seconds of the trailer, Will Smith is giving it his all. And he's really like, you could just tell like they know that this is going to be something big. Will Smith is 100% in. He is like giving it his all. He's like, yes, I understand the magnitude of this story. I'm going to be putting it all out there for the fame, the trophies, and getting this message out there. And it looks so good. I'm definitely excited to go see this movie when it comes out.
Are you gonna go see it in the theater, or are you gonna stick to HBO?
I think I will go see it in theaters. I think this is going to be a big enough movie that I'm going to want to see it in theaters. And I don't know what else is coming out that same weekend, but I doubt something is going to want to overshadow it going to the theaters to go see it. So
I think there's a couple things, but it's this one and Ghostbusters for sure going head to head. So I'm pretty sure Ghostbusters is going to beat it at the box office again because of HBO Max. Thanksgiving weekend, we got a brand new Resident Evil movie come out, a reboot even. Is this even on your radar? Do you like any of the previous Resident Evil movies we've had?
I've actually bought all of them. I bought the box set. Yeah,
Holy
I bought
shit.
the box set. It was Blu-ray, and it was like $20 for all 7 of them, or however many there are, 5 or 6 or whatever. So I was just like, you know what? I'll pay for them. I was at Best Buy at the time when they actually had movies. So I was like, oh, I'll buy them. I watched them. They're nothing special. There's some of them are quite bad. And I didn't even know this movie was coming out until I was looking at the releases today. And I was like, wow, okay, Resident Evil's coming out. Sure.
This one is, from what I've heard, and I've heard very little, but from what I've heard, this is one trying to be as parallel to the video game as possible. Now, I saw Resident Evil 1. I was surprised with it. It was one of those things where I just like, there's no way I'm going to see this in theaters. And then, despite constantly hearing positive word of mouth, I still waited till DVD. And then I was like, you know what? That was pretty entertaining. I enjoyed that. Resident Evil 2, I kept to my habit. We're definitely waiting for DVD. And then within the first 3 minutes of Resident Evil 3, this chick started levitating cars with her mind, and I just turned it off. And I haven't looked back since, and I'm okay with that. But it's still a thing happening. Do we need more Resident Evil? Like, isn't the zombie thing just overplayed now?
Yeah, but now we're hitting that nostalgia bomb. Remember when we were talking about Sopranos? Now they're trying to get the backspin. Like, oh well,
yeah.
Resident Evil.
That first Resident Evil is 21 years old. That was a 2000 movie.
Yeah, they're trying to get back with the nostalgia. I mean, what was it? I mean, 40 years for them to make a sequel to Halloween that was actually quite decent in their opinions, and same with Candyman now. I mean, everything that's 20 to 30 to 40 years, they just want to hit that either hard reset or direct sequel. Like, now this is the official second movie of it. And it's like, all right, well, there's 15 other movies, but sure, we'll go with this being the sequel.
Now we're getting into some crazy territory here. We're getting into December, and there isn't, outside of Matrix 4, there isn't a trailer available for any of these other movies I'm about to bring up. Oh, I guess Spider-Man 3. But
yeah, that one just dropped.
Do we give a shit about Matrix Part 4?
No, I didn't care for Matrix really 3 either.
Yeah, it's not good.
So Matrix 1 was good, was great. The second one was good, and then everything else was just like going downhill very, very quickly. There was just an avalanche of like, I don't care about this. Surprised that it's there. December 22nd, there's a trailer for all of those. I saw the Journal for Jordan trailer during Respect when I went to go see it. Sing 2 has been playing a lot, and then the Kingsman has been pushed back so many times. I knew it was supposed to come out like a year or two ago, and it just looks like trash. I didn't like the second Kingsman, and I'm not looking forward to this prequel that doesn't even have Taron Egerton in it or Colin Firth or whatever. Like, it just doesn't look great at all.
Is Ray Fiennes in that one also?
Maybe. I'm trying to think.
That's okay. You know, don't worry about it.
I tune out every time that trailer comes on.
You know, Kingsman wasn't even on my list here, but let's get into Spider-Man 3. Again, we're going to go 1 week back from the Matrix. No one cares about the Matrix. Spider-Man 3, are we excited about this? I kind of am not. I have as much faith in Spider-Man 3 as I do the Eternals. I think it's going to be okay, but I don't care.
I'm confused about the trajectory of the timeline and what we're going towards. It seems like after Shang-Chi and now Spider-Man and BD Wong is in both movies, it seems that Doctor Strange is the driving force of whatever is to come. And it seems like they're going to be working on the timelines. That was the whole thing of Loki as well. I haven't seen Loki because it just hasn't like tickled my fancy yet to even go watch it. So to me, I'm not into the movies if they're going to be now screwing up with the timelines to make it more complex than it already is, to being adding more Spider-Man or all this other stuff. Now, granted, I love Spider-Man. I loved Far From Home. It's my most watched Marvel movie because I just love putting it on. I just enjoy that movie so much. And I'm excited for this movie. But again, I'm not so excited. I don't like Doctor Strange that much. I don't like missing. I don't know about the whole timeline thing. Again, I'm very confused about how complex they're going to make it. Again, we have the Eternals coming in with their godlike powers, and what are they going to add to the universe, and what does that mean for everybody else? And now we're going to be adding alternate timelines that, again, was fun into the Spider-Verse because it was very chalky, it was very cartoony. You could kind of follow it a little bit easier, but now we're bringing it into the live action ones that I'm just very confused about. I don't know where it's going towards. So I will be watching this. I am sort of excited for it, but I'm also very reserved about what's going to happen. That's why I'm taking these Marvel movies one movie at a time, because I'm not going to be in on it for 10 years like I was for the last 24 of them. I'm going to go see them on a movie by movie basis. If there's a point where I don't go see 5 of them in a row and then I'm like, oh, I want to go see that new Thor movie, and it doesn't make sense, then I'm kind of going to be out, because I'm not going to sit there. I don't really necessarily want to watch 15 movies to get to the final battle one. If it's going to be like, I shouldn't have to watch those. I really shouldn't. And if I don't want to watch a movie, I'm not going to watch it at this point. I felt like there was an obligation towards the end of the run heading up to Endgame, because I was so invested for so long early on, but then there was fatigue that set in. And then I was like, well, I have to finish it. It's going to be monumental. I have to finish it. But now that it's over and we're on this new phase, I'm sitting there going like, oh, I don't necessarily want to be in a 40 to 50 movie timeline. I don't think so. That was a huge rant to say I am excited for it, but I'm going to be on a movie by movie basis. And I have tempered expectations from here on out on any Marvel movie.
That's fair. As far as Spider-Man is concerned, I just wish people would just stop fanboying so hard over it. Like all that build up towards the trailer, and then there was the bootleg trailer, and then the trailer just came out like 12 hours later anyways. It was just like, guys, calm down. Everyone, this is already on your calendar. It's probably set in stone too. Like we don't even need the real trailer. You're going to it. It's going to be okay.
Exactly.
Chill out.
I think people are losing their minds because this is like the first real Avenger person coming in as their movie. Because I think we had Black Widow, but we already knew her fate. We have Shang-Chi, and then we have the Eternals. But now we're having Spider-Man, and he's directly related to Avengers and the new thing. Like, this is exciting. What's going to happen? Last time we saw Spider-Man, crap was going down. Now we're getting him back right away. What could happen? But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, please, everybody just calm down. Marvel's going to be here for the next 50 years, whether we like them or not, whether they make good movies or if it's going to be just like wash, rinse, repeat. They're going to be movies coming out from here until forever. Like they already have the next like 5 years already set in stone. Like, let's all just relax a little bit.
For real, man. For real. I heard you say. We're going to go to the top of December. Again, we went out of order, but that's okay, guys. We're Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del Toro, William Dafoe, Cate Blanchett, Bradley Cooper. There isn't even a trailer out for this yet, but I was just like, what is that? And then I was like, really? It's all of that and then more? It's Guillermo del Toro doing a horror movie, as he does, about the circus.
That sounds awesome. I mean, you had me at Guillermo del Toro, Nightmare Alley, or whatever you called it.
Nightmare Alley. December
Nightmare
3rd.
Alley. When you said Guillermo del Toro is directing Nightmare Alley, I was like, I got my ticket. I'll just go to it no matter what. And then you listed off all those actors, and I was like, yes, please. why can't I see this now? I want to see this right now.
That is going to be a theatrical only. I think it's a Lionsgate film. Regardless, you're definitely not going to see it on the HBO Max.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, right. We are almost at the end here, my man. So Christmas. They still release movies on Christmas, which is hard to believe. Are you a football guy, Drew?
I do watch football. I am in some fantasy football teams, but I will also say that our yearly tradition at one point, me and my family were going to go see movies on Christmas Day. So
interesting. All right. Yeah. Well, you guys will probably like this. Do you know who Kurt Warner is?
Yes, I do.
Kurt Warner has a biopic coming out called American Underdog. Lionsgate's dropping it. And Zach Levi, old Shazam himself, is going to be playing Kurt Warner. And Anna Paquin, I imagine, is going to be playing Lady Warner.
Wow. Okay. So we'll see him win Super Bowl in the St. Louis Rams. Sounds kind of like Invincible almost-esque type of movie.
That's what I thought.
And then we'll see him lose to the Patriots the next day, the next minute, and then him going to another Super Bowl in Arizona and losing that one as well. I liked Kurt Warner when he was there playing football. I remember watching the Super Bowl with the Rams and the Patriots very vividly, rooting hard for the Rams to win and them disappointing me. And that will always stay in my mind.
Coming out the same day, dude. MGM, the people behind James Bond 25, Peter Dinklage, Ben Mendelsohn, they're going to do their version of Cyrano.
Okay.
Do you know what Cyrano is? Cyrano de Bergerac?
No, I do not.
Okay, that's fair. Do you remember the Steve Martin movie Roxanne?
Yes.
Okay, that's based on an old story called Cyrano de Bergerac, and the character Cyrano has this ridiculously long nose, and he's just an ugly person. He falls in love with this woman named Roxanne, but she kind of just doesn't see him. But then there's this other good-looking dude that she's kind of got eyes for, but he's a fucking dunderhead, man. Like, he can't form a sentence. And so Cyrano's like, yo, man, I can help you hook up with this girl. Just say what I say. Like, I'm gonna speak from the heart here, and you're gonna win her. And you never really know why he would do that in the first place, but then he gets second thoughts. And long story short, Roxanne and Cyrano do hook up. But this is an old story. But Peter Dinklage is obviously doing it a different version because he's going to be much, much, much shorter than Ben Mendelsohn. And I have a feeling that one's definitely swinging for little gold trophies along with the Kurt Warner biopic.
Yeah, I don't think Kurt Warner has. I good on him for getting a movie about him, but I just don't see that one getting a ton of recognition.
Could be. I mean, Zach Levi, he's doing some good stuff. I'm playing optimistic about that. I mean, it's been he might get nominated.
Year. I just don't know about. I mean, if it's going to be Zachary Levi or Will Smith, I think Will Smith would definitely hop over him being King Richard than Zachary Levi.
That is a strong, and probably correct opinion here. Peter Dinklage, I want to see him in the Twins remake. Now, we heard that was going to be Aquaman and Kevin Hart, and I don't know if that's still happening because the Twins sequel with Eddie Murphy has also been slated to happen, and who knows with COVID if that finally fell apart or not. I hope that one fell apart. But you know what I would like to see? I would like to see Peter Dinklage and Kevin Hart as twins, and Peter Dinklage is just firing midget jokes at Kevin Hart the entire time. I think that's going to be the craziest comedy in the world.
I thought there was going to be talk about maybe Peter Dinklage and Jason Momoa playing the twins, which I think would have been interesting and a little bit more closer to the original of Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, I've never heard of the Eddie Murphy one though. So
he was before the pandemic. It was one of those things like it's been 30 years, but Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger are going to do a sequel to Twins. with Eddie Murphy as their triplet. And it's like, oh no. This was before Coming to America Part 2 happened. And hopefully it's just been buried. It's a very, very super unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. My guy, prepping you for this, I went, pick 3 movies. What are the 3 movies that you were most excited about on this list that we just discussed?
So the 3 movies that I was excited about was Last Night in Soho, was definitely one of them. Antlers, we didn't talk about much during our talk, but
we didn't even bring up Antlers. No, sir. Bring it up.
Yeah, that's one movie that I'm looking forward to. It's definitely creepy, definitely weird vibes. I think that one's also Guillermo del Toro, I believe.
No way. Okay.
Me and my friend have been waiting for this movie for a long time. Like, this has been on his radar. He read the short story about it. The short story is really creepy. So it's definitely one that I'm very much looking forward to watching. King Richard was there as well as Spider-Man. I just wanted to talk about it, even though mentioned Spider-Man, even though I knew we were going to talk about Marvel at some point, but definitely looking at King Richard as a movie I'm keeping my eye out on.
That's fair. Everyone, you can check out Drew Angelman on YouTube at Angelcake Entertainment. He's also part of The Movie Minds, and you can follow them on Twitter at The Movie Minds. Podcast is on all your usual podcast platforms. He's also on Twitter at Drew Angelman. Drew, is there anything else I'm missing here?
No, that was fantastic. And thank you again for having me on to talk about the movies and the rest of the year. I really can't believe that we're in September already. And it's just a hop skipping away to Halloween and then New Year's and stuff. So it's crazy.
It still feels like the other day when California was on fire and the entire sky was orange. I only got a reminder of that the other day, but I was like, man, it feels like just a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it's weird that we're here. Hopefully we get to see any and all of these movies on the list, but we'll check it out. Folks, Rob Aceto is not here, but check out Polite Beer Expressions. That comes out every Thursday. Controversial article came out last week, y'all. She gave her lowest review ever. I'm not going to tell you about it. You're just going to have to check it out. Polite Beer Expressions. That's the BosNet.family/PBE. I do a little thing around here. You're listening to it right now. We call it the Microdose, but I do other stuff here, and that's called Waffle Box. Me and friend of the show, Mike Fish, we talk about everything and nothing. Those episodes drop Wednesday. Coming up at the end of the month, Sweet Science Cinema number 5, me and Jameel Hemphill, Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Jameel Hemphill. We talk about Denzel Washington in The Hurricane. You're going to love that episode. It's a great time. Otherwise, for Drew Angelman, for Robin Seto, I've been Kush Hayes. You've been you.
Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
From the BosNet family.
I don't know what's happening.